Show me your hands, I will kill you! Show me your hands! You were when I catch you.
A Kentucky state trooper was just sentenced to 5 years in prison. His former employer, the Kentucky State Police, just released body cam footage from that incident that caused him to lose his career and his freedom.
The video you're about to see is unacceptable. Former Trooper Kilbourn's actions were out of line and rightfully prosecuted. Troopers have a duty to uphold the law in all ways.
So what did this trooper do that was so bad or even different from so many other videos that I've shown to you? Is this a rare example of the system actually working as intended? Or is there more to the story here? Let's go through it.
This trooper violated the sacred duty of policing.
On July 28, 2023, Kentucky State Police troopers were involved in a pursuit initiated by a suspect reported to be armed, driving a stolen vehicle. A tire deflation device was used, and eventually it slowed the vehicle.
I have authority to hit vehicles to a slower speed.
If you can safely do it and the speeds are safe, 10-4.
10-4, we're coming to a stop right now.
I'm just staying behind you. 337, go ahead if you can.
The suspect exited the vehicle and he fled from the troopers on foot into a wooded area.
Hey, show me your hands! Show me your hands! Hey, show me your hands! Show me your hands!
337 Campbellsburg, he's fleeing on foot in front of me. He's reaching for his waistband.
Trooper Hayden Kilbourn began pursuing the suspect and making verbal threats.
Show me your hands, I will kill you! Show me your hands! Show me your hands! You are when I catch you! Show me your hands now!
He then deployed his taser, causing the suspect to fall to the ground, ending the foot pursuit.
Give me your hands! Give me your hands now! Give me your hands! Show me your hands! Show me your hands! Put your hands behind your back! Over, show me your hands! Right here. I will kill you! Put your hands behind your back now! Give me your hands!
Caliber, I think they're on foot somewhere.
337 Campbellsburg.
Get some!
Copy that.
Trooper Kilbourn instructed the suspect to roll over and to show his hands. He then delivered multiple baton strikes to the suspect's arms and his upper body area.
Give me your hands now! Right here. Give me your hands! Show me your hands! Show me your hands! Put your hands behind your back! Show me your hands! Right here. I will kill you! Put your hands behind your back now! Give me your hands!
Caliber, I think they're on foot somewhere.
During the baton strikes, the suspect can be seen on body cam footage appearing to comply and to show his hands to Trooper Kilbourn. The assault left the suspect, 20-year-old Robert Kidd, with 7 stitches in his upper lip, bruising across his face and body, as well as broken teeth. On August 2, 2023, following an administrative review of the incident, the KSP determined that Trooper Kilbourn's actions constituted excessive force. KSP Commissioner Philip Burnett issued an intent to dismiss Trooper Kilbourn, which was basically a notice that they were firing him. In accordance with Kentucky employment law for police officers, Kilbourn exercised his right to challenge the proposed termination and requested a hearing before the KSP Trial Board. After hearing the evidence, the board issued a 6-month suspension without pay, which concluded on February 15, 2024. But while the termination dispute process was unfolding, there was also a criminal investigation that was happening.
KSP launched a criminal investigation into the incident on August 4, 2023. The case was submitted to the prosecutor's office on September 18, 2023, leading to the filing of 2 charges against Mr. Kilbourn: assault 2nd degree and terroristic threatening 3rd degree. Mr. Kilbourn was charged and arrested on September 19, 2023.
During the criminal prosecution, Kilbourne remained employed by the KSP, but he wasn't allowed to work as a road trooper.
Since Mr. Kilbourne was under a felony indictment, he could not serve as a road trooper. Therefore, during the criminal case and judicial process, he was administratively assigned to the Office of Technical Services and did not perform any sworn law enforcement duties while the indictment was pending.
Here we have a violent use of force that caused significant physical injuries, as was threatened by the officer during the foot chase.
Show me your hands, I will kill you!
But was this an excessive use of force? In order to determine that, the courts look at the Graham factors. Number 1, the severity of the crime at issue. Number 2, whether there's an immediate safety threat to anyone involved. And lastly, whether or not the suspect is actively resisting or fleeing. Here, the severity of the crime at issue was substantial, fleeing from the police in a stolen car. Here, the safety threat to the officers wasn't zero. He was allegedly armed, though I haven't been able to verify that. Also, the suspect was actually literally fleeing the police, though the big issue here is whether or not he was actively resisting at the time that the force at issue was applied. Turning to federal excessive force law from the Sixth Circuit where this occurred, the Fourth Amendment prohibits officers from using gratuitous force that is unnecessary to effectuate the arrest of a person who has ceased resisting. An officer may not use injurious physical force to subdue a suspect that is not actively resisting arrest. But what is the definition of active resistance as opposed to passive resistance? When is somebody actively resisting arrest? Well, active resistance includes physically struggling with, threatening, or disobeying officers, and it includes refusing to move your hands for the police to handcuff you, at least if that inaction is coupled with other acts of defiance. But active resistance does not include being compliant, or having stopped resisting, or having done nothing to resist arrest, or having already been detained. Again, the point is, an officer may not injure somebody with physical force to subdue that suspect if they are not actively resisting arrest. So even if a suspect is fleeing the police and potentially armed and dangerous, though that is going to authorize some potentially significant force being used during the period of time in which the suspect is actively fighting or resisting or fleeing, once that individual has surrendered or been apprehended or ceased active resistance, officers can't just continue using violence or engage in additional or unnecessary violence just based on what that suspect had already done in the past. And they can't just do it because they're angry and they want to punish the suspect for running or whatever they did. Here, looking at the body cam footage, the suspect is no doubt dangerous. He's fleeing the police. He's putting the public in danger from the very beginning. The KSP says that he was reported to be armed. At this point, let's just assume that's true. So a potentially armed suspect flees on foot into the woods. These officers have to follow him into the woods, chase him down, and arrest him. That's absolutely a dangerous situation. Tasing the suspect at that point has got to be reasonable in order to apprehend him if he's not following their instructions. So they tase him. Even with the threats that were made, I don't think there were any Fourth Amendment violations that had yet occurred at this point. But then what happens? The suspect is told to give them his hands, and that's exactly what he tries to do, whatever that even means. He shows his hands to the officers, and they can see that his hands are not holding any weapons. Despite this, Trooper Kilbourne just starts beating the suspect with his baton, while continuing to shout, "Show me your hands," and also, "Give me your hands."
Give me your hands now! Right here. Give me your hands! Show me your hands! Show me your hands! Put your hands behind your back! Show me your hands! Right here. I will kill you! Put your hands behind your back now! Give me your hands!
As he's shouting this, the guy is trying to comply by showing his hands and also extending them to the officers in sort of a surrender position. But then Kilbourne is just absolutely nailing him in the arms at the same time with his baton, as opposed to making any attempt at all to handcuff the suspect he's arresting. It's as if he's just engaging in a gratuitous beating and then just saying, "Show me your hands" for the camera, in order to provide some plausible excuse for the beating. And that would have probably worked here had the cameras been obstructed or the body camera fallen off or had been turned off. But it wasn't. He ended up submitting his resignation to the Kentucky State Police on January 13th of 2026. So what happened to the criminal charges? Kilbourne eventually pled guilty to the charges. This was January 12th of 2026. He was later sentenced to 5 years in prison and also not allowed to, obviously, work as a police officer ever again. He's currently incarcerated in the Laurel County Detention Center with an expected release date of November 2029. He will be eligible for parole beginning in February of 2027. So what happened to the suspect? The suspect, Robert Kidd, was charged with first-degree fleeing or evading police, first-degree wanton endangerment, speeding, resisting arrest, receiving stolen property, and possession of marijuana. He also entered a guilty plea, and he received a 3-year sentence. He filed a lawsuit in federal court in October of 2023, which remains pending.
Kidd is suing Kilbourne. That lawsuit claims that Kidd posed no threat and there was no justification for that use of force. The lawsuit is still working its way through the courts.
Kidd's attorney, Michael Smith, told the Lexington Herald-Leader newspaper that the footage that was just released by the KSP doesn't actually tell the complete story, that it was selectively edited, and that it downplays the misconduct of another trooper, Jake Knoll, who participated in the foot pursuit and just stood there watching, taking no action as Kilbourne beat and threatened Kidd. According to Smith, Trooper Knoll received no discipline for his conduct during the incident. This is far from the first time where police officers have engaged in gratuitous violence at the other end of a pursuit. I've handled many of those in my career, but what is unusual here is the fact that this one was caught so clearly on camera. The guy was literally showing his hands in a surrender position as the trooper was beating him, saying, "Show me your hands." Combine that with the verbal threats being made by the trooper during the foot pursuit.
Show me your hands, I will kill you! You were when I catch you!
While those threats aren't themselves constitutional violations, they show the officer's violent state of mind, and they really harm his credibility for the purposes of attempting to justify his use of force, to justify his beating after the fact. He was obviously very angry, and he's obviously a very violent person. Was the KSP just doing the right thing here and holding themselves accountable because that's the right thing to do? That would be unusual because, as you know, if you've been subscribed to my channel, I've done a number of Kentucky State Police videos where they do nothing of the sort. So perhaps there's some other reason. A lawsuit was obviously coming. There's always the option of just throwing their officer under the bus, firing him, and prosecuting him. While generally there is insurance coverage available for things like this, where the officer defendant is convicted of criminal conduct, that's going to trigger the criminal acts exclusion in the insurance policy, and then is going to exclude coverage to the victim and completely let the state police off the hook. I've had that happen several times, and I don't know for sure, but that may be why the lawsuit is still pending. I looked, and the only named defendant in the case is Trooper Kilbourne. I wonder why he didn't sue the other trooper as well, Trooper Knoll, because it's also a constitutional violation for one police officer to just stand there and watch another one engage in an illegal beating of an arrestee. There is a constitutional duty to intervene, and you can sue for that as well as a victim. I've done it many, many times in excessive force cases. And it's especially helpful where you have a situation like this where they could just throw the primary officer under the bus and boom, you're out of luck. Also, if you're going for accountability, why not discipline Trooper Knoll as well? He was in a position to do the right thing and stop the beating, but he chose not to. If what Kilbourne did was so bad, then why was it not also so bad, or at least bad, to watch it happen and take no action? That's what does it for me. This, in my opinion, was undoubtedly a decision made for political and or liability reasons. Again, just in my opinion. But I'd like to hear your opinion. Let me know in a comment. Do you think that Kilbourne really believed here that there was some active resistance occurring? Or was he just engaging in theatrics in order to satisfy his lust for gratuitous violence? And should we applaud the KSP for acting quickly and doing the right thing here, or were they just covering their own asses?
Former Trooper Kilburn's actions were out of line and rightfully prosecuted. Troopers have a duty to uphold the law in all ways.
Let me know in a comment, and if I hear anything else, you can follow along by subscribing both here and at the blog at thecivilrightslawyer.com. You can follow me on X at JohnBryanESQ. Remember, our rights don't end where your fear begins. Freedom is scary. Deal with it.